Hey, everybody. I wanted to get back with you guys. Do you know I'm looking at the calendar and something big, I mean, really big, is coming June 7th. This is incredible. I am so excited. This is an event that no one can miss. It is the America Rises Phoenix Soars Summit. It's going to be on June 7th in the Sheraton near Sandston, which is near Richmond. But you know what? It's just too much for me to even talk about. I can't do this alone. I need some help. I need a lifeline. Oh my God, buddy, you're such a godsend. I was going to go into a meltdown, and here you
Uh,
are. Oh, and now I can just relax. Oh,
I was waiting for my and here's Buddy or something like that, but I
buddy,
thought I'd cut that off
buddy's
at the pass.
chair.
But we
You
but
know,
we want to talk about the summit, and I'm kind of excited about it because we're revisiting the Phoenix trope,
yeah,
because we actually dodged a bullet at least maybe
yeah,
for another 4 years.
yeah.
And there's
But
lots of things that need to be worked out, some wrinkles to be smoothed, and some presidential decrees or presidential executive orders is the proper term that need to be codified. And the nuts up in Congress still can't get it right. With the big beautiful bill, it just needs some financial tweaking because there's no reason to go into a deficit. Um, and what I really like about that is they're not being demonized effectively as they would have been
yes,
as
boy,
we
that's
saw
a
in the
big
past.
difference. Big
They're
difference.
making a really valid point. Yes, we do need to fix things. We do need to actually implement the DOGE cuts immediately, like yesterday is what I think that's what Elon said. So I have optimism. I think they're going to work it out.
Yes,
But
and I think that what you just talked about was exactly what we were trying to come up with when we
yeah,
were coming up with the title and the theme of this summit. So we just couldn't figure out. Now, the last time, and some of you might remember, we had a Phoenix theme earlier. Well, earlier we were being burned to the ground. And it wasn't until November 5th that we knew whether or not the Phoenix would actually not rise again or it would soar. It was either
yeah,
one or the other, it's one extreme or the other. And of course, America Rises. It's been, we're 4 months into the Trump presidency, and we have seen America rising on the international stage,
yes,
from the international stage to the corner gas station. We have
yep.
seen us get into a better position to the border of this country. We've seen ourselves become much better off in just 4 months. And so America Rises Phoenix Soars Summit was a great, great, great kind of connection. So
So
that was really dope.
let's talk about our promo that we've got running, and we change it from time to time. So let's just take a look at it here and tell me what you think. And I may stop it and talk about it, but let's get started.
Virginia Tea Party presents Summer Summit 2025. America Rises, the Phoenix Soars. On June 7th, 2025, we will be holding our summer conference at the Richmond Airport Sheraton Hotel.
So you see that Phoenix, right? So I like to talk about the mechanics of things. That was Nelson Velez's own personal foray into using AI to generate a conceptual image, a phoenix holding the American flag, right? So what we were able to do, and I use AI quite a bit for audio processing, for image generation and stuff, because it just saves me so much time. I don't always get what I want out of it, so I have to work at it. But that image of that bird was one you sent me, and I was able to doctor that and put it in another program that would generate it into what I wanted to see as a motion video. So while the Phoenix doesn't actually exist, it's mythical, right? This bird here looks real. He doesn't actually exist either, but the concept of what we're seeing is in fact very real. Ask any fire spitting Democrat; they'll tell you. So let's take a look at some more of what this video promo entails.
Mark your calendars and come spend the day with like-minded Virginians. Our guest lineup includes Ned Ryan, founder and president of the American Majority.
So right there, we talked about the first guest. So maybe we can go through and talk about each one of these as our video actually talks about him, right? So let's talk about Ned. He's been with us a number of different times.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to do two things, actually. I'm going to go ahead and show this. This is our website. This is where you'll go get the information and where we're going to be referring to information about our summit. So the big red bar, register now, because it does have tickets. And it says loading. So there we go. So there's a picture of the Sheraton. There's the graphic for the summit, and it's 1 week, 2 days, 13 hours, 40 minutes, and 25
Wow.
seconds as of
Yes.
point now. And so let's talk about tickets first. It's really easy to get tickets. You just click the plus button for yourself, or your friend, or more, and then click get tickets. You can't get much easier than that. Then you fill out the names of the attendees and check out. It's like any other online purchase you would make for getting the tickets. So let's go back and look at some of the lineup. So we have it's an agenda that we start out like we always must and should and will: prayer, pledge, and creed. And then Nelson's got a few comments, which he promised will be brief. And then we'll get to Ned, right? So Ned's starting up with his presentations are always top quality and top notch. So you have the notes, and I'm going to ask the questions. So he's been around just the same as we have, right? In terms
That's
of
right. That's right. It
since
was
2009, right?
yeah. It was a trifecta. In the very beginning, there was nothing. It was void. The Democrats had taken over. Obama had taken over. It was darkness had just covered the landscape. And then something happened, and there was light. And then the Tea Party just rose. But at the same time that the Tea Party rose, because we didn't have any money, there were two other organizations that helped us with the successful and historic marches onto DC and all the other things that we did, getting our own candidates elected into office. One was the Freedom Works, which were invaluable. They helped us with the busing, and they helped us with the logistics and meeting with the representatives. As of last year, they're no longer with us, which is a devastating loss. But the other group is still with us, and that's Ned Ryan's American Majority.
Got it.
And he has been valuable for giving us the nuts and bolts of what to do, when to do it, and what kind of obstacles we're going to face. He gave us all kinds of real detailed information on how to be more effective.
So I remember his one. I mean, he's been with us, since I started capturing these and recording them. He came and he talked about something that I always mention because of how well and how grounded his presentation was. It was about messaging. We're all tied up in the weeds about numbers and facts, and the left has been successful. Now we know why, because they had a lot of money that they shouldn't have been getting. With USAID, et
We've been
cetera.
funding it.
Yeah, we've been paying for it. But they would message on an emotional level, and I still struggle with that because I'm still thinking of facts. I'm still thinking of measure. I'm still thinking of comparisons, but none of that messages well. And Ned brought that up a couple of summits back, and it. So my point is that when this guy speaks, there's something that will stick and stay much beyond his presentation.
It's a matter of storytelling in a way that doesn't use buzzwords that turn people off or same old. And so that is why for people who watch Fox News, you'll remember seeing Ned, because Ned is constantly being brought back into Fox as a contributor and for his expertise. But the biggest reason is because he's able to deliver information in a way that's entertaining.
Well, it's definitely entertaining and it's memorable. And his focus this trip will be on election strategy, and I'm interested in that because I'm a GOP chair, part of the Virginia Tea Party state level organization. But I'm looking at, am I going to have to move again, despite President Trump being the president? If Virginia doesn't get its act together, and the party apparatus has not been very, very, very coherently sound in how they've made some of their decisions, I don't really know if there's an ultimate strategy, but maybe it's one that I don't know it. But if it's one, if I did know, I wouldn't be happy about it. But that's why I'm really looking forward to what he'll be presenting on election strategy and pretty much this thing called ballot chasing.
Yes, big.
Which really I mean, I conceptually know what it is. I've never done ballot chasing per se.
And the thing is, the reason why it's so big is because Florida was like Virginia. It was a mix. In fact, it had, well, like Virginia, it had more Democrats than Republicans. And in 2000, it was touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. It was a swing state. It was very much about a roll of the dice for Republicans to win anything, governorship or the presidency. But in the years that followed, I guess starting in 2010, they started to do this ballot chasing.
Mm-hmm.
And now in just about a decade, it's gone to super majority conservatives. It is absolutely, it's no longer a swing state at all. It is solidly conservative. And the main reason is the ballot chasing. So that it was a big success story. And then they exported that to New York, and lo and behold, New York started to turn red. Right. And so now that they've seen this, now hopefully every state will do it, and especially in Virginia. And that's why we want Ned to talk about specifically here. And we want Ned to speak while we have elected officials and candidates running for office in the audience.
Yeah.
Which we will.
The thing about ballot chasing and strategies, and let's go back to the numbers. So I saw one today, a state breakdown. Virginia is, according to this measure, 34% GOP, 37% Democrat, and 29% independent. So there's the meat on the bone. Mm-hmm. If you can get the GOP to show up, depending on groups that want to sit this one out,
Yes.
Trump didn't win last time. He's president, so I don't care anymore. God, we got so much work to do. All right, so let's continue this one and see if I can get this to play right.
Yes.
Where did I left off here?
Nicholas Softy, Virginia Field Representative of the Federation of American Immigration Reform.
So Nicholas Softy will be joining us. And so I don't think I've met this gentleman yet, so we will certainly meet him on the 7th. He's promoting the initiatives of FAIR across the Commonwealth. So what do you know about FAIR? F-A-I-R. It's in capital letters. It's an acronym. Is that a fair question? Am I catching you off guard?
That is a fair question. It's Federation of American Immigration Reform.
Okay.
Policy wonkish, but what it is that we need to protect our borders. It is not fair for the people who live in this country to suffer foreign invasion and then subsidize the foreign invasion through our taxes and provide care and aid and comfort to those people invading our country without being
you have to give them due process too, because you can't take away their liberty, because it's not fair to take away their liberty. Doesn't matter they're not documented. You have to be fair. Well, this is a justice fair, justice for us. Yeah.
So
I'm looking forward to that.
We'll be talking about, but Softy is actually a hardliner, although you wouldn't think considering the name.
Yeah, and Buddy is a mean guy, right? So right. I know how that works.
So he's head of the operation here in Virginia, working with Tom Holman and coordinating these efforts through the Youngkin administration.
Good.
So it should be really good, because we'll find out exactly what's going on in Virginia.
So the next one is someone we've actually had on our show recently.
Sandra J. Adams, author of the book Government, Servant or Master.
So that was an interesting discussion with her when she went over the details of her activism and talked a bit about her book. And I'm wondering, is she going to be focusing on the book still? The content, is that pretty much where she's continuing to focus, or what else do you know about her presentation?
The presentation is going to be an update of her book. So since her book was written, and it was written before the existence of DOGE, she's going to be able to take that book and the concepts and say, okay, this is where we were, this is where we are, and this is where we're going to be. And this are the things that absolutely shocked me, even after I did the research that DOGE was able to come out with. And this is how it impacts. So she's going to be able to update everything, because she's been keeping close tabs with everything that's been going on as far as DOGE, because one of the things that she's doing besides making these presentations is that she's also been working with the government officials, and she may go back into the government to continue this service of cutting all this money laundering. They keep saying abuse. Well, what is abuse? It's money laundering. That's
It's
what
criminal.
they're doing. They're taking
In this
our
case,
money and giving it to Hamas or whoever they need to. That's what they're doing.
Oh my God. So she was like a Doge spear point before Doge arrived.
Yes, she was
Doge, maybe.
John the Baptist. She was a lone voice in the wilderness.
Yeah, the voice crying out in the wilderness. So so now that's luckily hit mainstream. Now the knuckleheads in Congress need to actually start codifying that.
Yes, that's the
watch
key.
that one. Yeah.
You remember that's what she kept reinforcing every time, because we could lose it all unless Congress does what they want to do. They should want to do this. Why would you want to keep this all in place? It's awful.
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. Why would they want to keep it in place?
Yeah,
because some of them are benefiting from it.
Some of them, but then a lot of them are losing elections because of it. Because
there's the wake up
call.
They compare.
Right? They can't the money they get and the money that their opponents get. Yeah. Big difference.
So let's move on to our next feature.
Mark Mix, president of the National Right to Work Organization.
So Mark Mix, he, like he mentioned, the president of the National Right to Work Organization, and that really is kind of like going to be a shock to people that don't figure out that we have to go Republican across the board for the state, because I don't want to have to actually join a damn union, and that's what you're looking at. A union enterprise that then funds leftist causes. It's several nails in everyone's coffin if we lose the right to work. What else can you tell me about that legislation that the Democrats are campaigning on?
Their campaign, but you know who's not campaigning on it?
Spanberger, I think.
The leader of the Democrat Party, the face of the day. I wonder why she's not campaigning strongly on it. And so this is because it's a loser. It will harm the economy of our state. It will just absolutely destroy. And I mean, the pricing will go skyrocket, and we'll lose jobs because a lot of businesses will say, "Oh, we lost Virginia. Let's go to Florida." This is a non-starter. But this guy's pretty famous. He's been on Fox News. It's been on New York Daily News, Washington Times, Newsweek, Wall Street Journal. He's got a lot of depth, and he was really good to add to the mix, which was what he called.
I mean, because it's the one that would most directly impacts us. It's a pretty serious threat. Is what it is.
And I'm really looking forward to hearing what he's got to say, because Spanberger is distancing herself from taking away the right to taking away the right to work here in Virginia.
Right. So that leaves us with our final presenter as we have it. And sometimes other presenters or guests come along, but let's check back at the video.
John Reed, Republican candidate for Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. America Rises, the Phoenix Soars, June 7th, 2025 at the Richmond Airport Sheraton Hotel. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, Nelson, get your tickets now.
Yeah, I know. I got to do that.
You got to do that. It's a little secret, but all of us at the Virginia Tea Party buy our tickets too.
Yeah. We're so communist. We're so communist.
We're highly paid. We're highly paid in the reward of serving the retention of the republic. That's our currency. Otherwise, I'm spending money being a member of this organization. So that's our lineup, and I think looking at it, I'm getting more excited about it now that we took a closer look at it. Yeah,
and I think on the John Reed front. You could look at every lieutenant governor, well, except for Winsome Sears. She was very memorable.
Yeah,
she stood out because of her story, because she's Black, because she's a female who was or is a Marine, never was a Marine, is a Marine. Great backstory with her. Very, very folksy and down to earth. So you remember her because she's distinctive. But you also will remember John Reed because one, he's very personable. Two, he's so personable that they paid him to present every day. He was on the radio and on TV as a newscaster, and because of that, he's gotten very, very, very much in tune with the pulse of all the politics. He's deep. I mean, from his father, who was in politics and won as a state senate. But he also he's also got from Reagan to George Allen.
The credentials, the ability. So let me sum this up. And why I'm really interested in John Reed serving in this capacity, and it's for three reasons. And he embodies them all. All outstanding politicians that are leaders could think, they could speak, and they could act. And Winsome Sears, as you mentioned, she's established that, but she can speak in that connecting way. Yeah. John Reed's definitely a thinking, speaking, and as he reminded us at his rally at Atlas 42, he's a Republican fighter. So he will act too, and he doesn't change. He is what he is. He says what he is. He does what he says. He lives what he believes, and he's John, right? We've known him for years. If you're listening to his former radio show, and it's a privilege to have him. And I cannot see where any gain comes from anything if he's not seated as lieutenant governor, because whatever you may be worried about, you're going to get it in droves if the damn Democrats.
No. Oh, yes.
And literally, if that happens, God help us. God help Virginia. It's that serious. And I mean, yeah, every election is the most important one because it's the one that you have a chance to get right. It's the one right in front of you. That's why it's the most important one. Especially now. We've got the Phoenix soaring. We've got America rising. We've got a golden age. We get some stuff worked out. I want to see Virginia part of that, because if this state becomes, an East Coast California, I don't know if I can live here.
It's such a difficult thing because last year the nation was out at the precipice. Had Kamala Harris won and kept the open borders and the inflation and the no oil drilling, gas drilling, it would have been over for not only this country but the world. And so that was everything. And now what was right for and true about the nation being do or die in that election is now true for Virginia this year. This is our year in Virginia for do or die. If Spanberger wins, then that block called the veto to stop all the horrors that the Democrats wanted to impose on our nation. I mean, this state, then that becomes a check. It's just going to go through like a hot knife through butter, and it's going to destroy us. And I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can recover from that. So it's really crucial that all three candidates get voted in, and anyone that has a problem with any of those candidates, remember this.
Yes.
That Winsome Sears is going to be dictating, and they're going to be working as a team. John Reed is a team player. Yep. So you don't need to worry about somebody going as a Lone Ranger. He's a team player. He always has been. He's worked with the Tea Party as a team player. I've known him as a team player. So you don't need to worry about it, because those people who don't think that they don't want to vote for a certain person, they tend not to vote for any of them. You've got to come out and vote for all of them.
So let's take a minute and talk about one other item that I think maybe we should end with this. So we owe a debt of gratitude, and we are thrilled to have our sponsors. Now, this is the list that I have at the moment, and I think there's some others.
Yes, there is.
You'll see these on currently on the website. American Majority Gold level sponsor, the Virginia Council. You know, it was an organization that John Reed helped get started, and Americans for AFP. Remind me who that is. That's Americans for
Prosperity.
Americans for Prosperity. I'm thinking Progress and Prosperity. So we want to thank them very much for their generosity and being part of it. And if you go to the website, you can click on each of those items and look at their website specifically. Let me see it. Everybody's here. The Virginia Council, with their very noble goal of preserving history and advancing prosperity. And again, speaking of prosperity, Americans for Prosperity.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got so many more sponsors too.
Okay. Well, the best way to learn about the sponsors is to come to the event and to visit the sponsor tables, because that's where another mini summit goes on while the summit is in play, is out in the hallway around the vendor tables. So many new friendships and more and new information, people you meet is out there. It's like sometimes it's like, okay, come back in. The summit's restarting in the auditorium, and they
Yeah, we're considering explosive devices, which we think may dislodge some of the people from these sponsors who are actually like the star of the show. I love spending time with the sponsors because
Absolutely.
they give me up to date information, and we work together like this.
Yep, we do, so a big thanks to them, and we'll hear more about them. That we'll have more of that on our website, and we're looking forward to seeing you there. Everyone who's watching this, and the people you bring with you. And with that, Nelson, we should probably go ahead and close out our summit preview, our summit promo. Thanks a lot for helping me get us off the ground.
Yes, this is fun, and I think the lineup, although there was a lot of carnage and casualties leading up to this final product, but the lineup now is really powerful, well balanced, and I'm looking forward to it, just like you, buddy.
Good. Thanks a lot, Nelson. We'll see you there, and if not sooner.
Yes.